5 on Your Side at 10 starts now.
Right now, Manhunt After Dark. 5 on Your Side is tracking the frantic search for a gunman who shot a Granite City police officer several times. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Maxwell in for Kelly Jackson tonight. Tonight, police are searching for a man that investigators believe is 26-year-old DJ Marshall. They say he shot a police officer. An ambulance raced that wounded officer from the crime scene on Johnson Avenue to a St. Louis hospital. At last report, that officer was awake and talking from his hospital bed. We don't yet know his name. But the search for his shooter that started in broad daylight now stretches well into Friday night. Let's get right over to 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend. He's live in Granite City. Robert, we know an elementary school is just a few blocks from that crime scene where this all began. A lot of houses nearby. The suspect still on the loose. What are you learning about this phase of the investigation?
The fact that for the past 8 hours, police have been searching for DJ Marshall. They set up this command post you see right here, which again indicates to me that they're going to be searching all night long. Take a look at this video I want to show you right now. Mugshot that we just got from Illinois State Police of 26-year-old DJ Marshall. Illinois State Police, again, they just sent us this mugshot minutes ago. This is, of course, is the man at the center of this massive manhunt. Now, earlier, police also sent us these photos of DJ Marshall. They say Marshall is from Granite City. Investigators say shortly after 2 this afternoon, they went to the area of Johnson Road and Carlson Avenue to check out reports of what they call an unwanted subject call. Once there, police say Marshall shot a Granite City police officer again several times and then ran off. The officer was rushed to St. Louis University Hospital. The good news, Granite City Police Chief Gary Brooks says the officer was talking at the time and is expected to make a full recovery. Now, dozens of armed police officers from several departments in Illinois State Police fanned out all across this area and searched for Marshall. About 3 hours ago, a line of officers raced to the 2100 block of Lee and surrounded a house after reports Marshall might have been there. Turns out he was not. Now, about an hour before that, police swarmed in on another house near 28th and Madison after hearing Marshall was hiding under a porch. Armed officers moved in, searched that area with several canines and flashlights, but did not find DJ Marshall. Now, I talked to a woman who claims DJ Marshall is her stepbrother. She asked us to not show her face during the interview. A neighbor also talked to us outside SLU Hospital. That's after she heard what happened to the Granite City police officer.
And there was no way that there's that many cops out here lined up and down, and he wasn't seen if he was under that porch. I don't think he was in there.
And when was the last time you talked to him?
Well over a week ago. I just hope he doesn't die and doesn't hurt anybody else.
Just worried about what's going on in our town. And, you know, I had already seen somebody that had made a smart comment about somebody in Granite City. And unless you live there, you don't know what it's like. Those things don't always happen there. So it was just very scary.
Back here live, it's quite an emotional time for a lot of business owners and neighbors in this area. Again, you're looking at this big command post police have set up here, out here in this neighborhood, in this strip mall, near the Pizza World where all this first happened. That's where they're telling us they're going to stay pretty much all night until they get their hands on this man. Again, police are calling DJ Marshall armed and dangerous, and of course they're asking anyone who sees him to not approach him. Instead, pick up the phone and call police. We're live in Granite City. I'm Robert Townsend. 5 on Your Side.
Robert, thanks. And our newsroom is looking into DJ Marshall's rap sheet. Madison County court records show he's a 7-time accused felon with an active warrant out for his arrest, raising new questions about how Illinois' no-cash bail system handles repeat defendants who fail to make their court appearances. Marshall was facing a Class 4 felony charge for aggravated fleeing from police while allegedly under the influence of multiple controlled substances in a recent incident, August 11. Records show he then missed 2 court dates in October before a judge issued that warrant for his arrest. We're going to continue covering this developing story as the manhunt continues into this evening. You can find all those updates on KSDK.com or on the free 5+ app. One man is dead, another man was shot, and a girl is in custody after an armed robbery at a Troy, Illinois gas station. Police are now reviewing evidence gathered at the Circle K on Edwardsville Road at around 1 o'clock this morning. That's where the victim says he went to meet a girl he connected with online. But when he got there, he says she was with another man who had a gun. That man shot the victim, took his money and phone. Officers tracked the suspects to a home nearby. Police say when they closed in, the suspect was cornered in a closet and shot and killed himself. An underage girl was taken into custody. Tonight, the battle over who holds power in St. Louis has moved from City Hall to the courtroom. Mayor Kara Spencer has asked a judge to declare that only the mayor has the authority to appoint the next sheriff if Alfred Montgomery is permanently removed from office. In a letter to the Board of Aldermen, she said the city charter supports that power and that the court must now decide who controls the process.
The city charter does grant the authority to the city mayor to make the appointment.
I don't think the board agrees that it should solely be the mayor.
This is not by any stretch a power grab. We just want some clarity.
Montgomery remains jailed under federal indictment as state courts weigh whether to expel him from office permanently. If that happens, the next fight is not just over who replaces him, but whether voters ever get a say. We don't expect a final ruling on Montgomery's impeachment trial for at least another week. Healthcare costs are on the brink of another shock, and now lawmakers are rolling out their pitches to keep prices down. Just this week, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley introduced a plan on Capitol Hill that would allow people to write off higher premiums as non-taxable income. Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski also released a plan to try to keep costs low. It includes banning unexpected or high-cost charges for ambulance transportation, continuing a prescription drug price cap, and extending Affordable Care Act tax credits.
I think another thing that we should be looking back to reinstating is the navigator system, something that for a few tens of millions of dollars was actually helping to fund navigators for people to help navigate the marketplace to find the most affordable plan.
She digs into the details on her pitch in an episode of The Record. You can watch that on 5+ on the app. Tonight, it airs at 11 there. Webster University is suing one of the largest property management companies in the nation over what the college calls excessive fees for a space it doesn't even use. The lawsuit centers around the Arcade building off Olive Street in downtown St. Louis. It's mainly used as an apartment building, but Webster rents out the first 2 floors. Webster moved into that building, which is managed by Dominion Development, in 2015. But during the pandemic, classes were moved off-site. Now only 1 employee works there. Webster officials say despite that, Dominion still charges the university close to $1 million a year plus soaring maintenance costs. The college is now demanding its money back. In 2023, Dominion sued Webster for not paying rent. We've reached out to the company for a comment, but have not yet heard back. A chicken farm is now a chicken graveyard. How a farmer is trying to recoup his losses after bird flu wipes out his flock. Once again, 5 on your side, and the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition are teaming up to collect holiday gifts for kids living in foster care. We still have more than 3,000 little wishes to grant. We want your help. Just go to ksdk.com/littlewishes. Right now, a Metro East chicken farmer is trying to figure out how to stay afloat after bird flu wiped out his flock. Joel Funk started his namesake farm in Freeburg in 2021. His flock quickly grew to include more than 900 chickens, geese, and other birds. But tragedy struck Saturday when he found a dozen birds dead. They had tested positive for bird flu. After setting up a quarantine zone, federal officials came in to kill and bury his entire flock, along with about 250 dozen eggs. He now has to wait 120 days before any more chickens can come onto his farm.
One of the reasons I got into this type of agriculture more, retail, farm to table, was because of the relationship. You pay it forward and you pay it back, and people are kind and they're good and they're nice.
Funk says he's filling out papers to try to get some money back from the USDA for the chickens he lost. He says it could be up to 8 months before he's able to sell eggs again. A St. Louis animal shelter is sending out an SOS tonight as temperatures are low. The Center for Animal Rescue and Enrichment says the heat is out. It's at its shelter off Walnut Place. Officials say that won't be fixed until next week, leaving dogs like these out in the cold. Here's how you can help. The nonprofit is asking for fosters. Dozens of dogs are available now. If you're interested, the shelter is open weekends from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 p.m. All right, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has a closer look at that cold and what's to come in this forecast ahead. Hey, Scott, good to see you.
Well, good to see you too, Mark. And you know, it's not that cold compared to where we have been. This morning we started out at 12 in St. Louis, coldest morning ever. They just flipped the switch and turned some of the lights off here at the Garden Glow. But you know, at the Missouri Botanical Garden, the temperature dropped to 32 degrees a couple of hours ago, and now it's gone back to 37. We have clouds that are streaming in, and that's basically acting to keep the heat in. What little bit of heat there is, right? So we're still at 38 degrees in St. Louis. Winds are out of the southwest at 8. We hit 41 today. We probably don't drop much below freezing tonight. We're still leaving upper 20s and lower 30s here, but with the clouds coming in, these numbers may be a little bit too low because even after these high clouds start to thin out, low clouds are on the way in from northern portions of Missouri and southern Iowa. Tomorrow, more clouds than anything else. The 7-day forecast really hits the clouds here for the weekend, and then another weather system and a brief warm up for the middle of the week. Let's focus on our weekend. We know that tomorrow it is just going to be mostly cloudy. During the day, it's all dry. But this system to our north and west will swing in. It's a fast moving clipper system. We've talked about it all week long. We're dry during the day, but into the evening and overnight hours, especially after midnight towards 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, there should be some rain showers north of St. Louis. It may be a rain-snow mix. That's certainly possible, but temperatures are still forecast to be above freezing at this point, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a problem other than perhaps some damp roads. We get back well above freezing in the afternoon, and then the colder air starts coming in as we head into Sunday night on a stiff northerly breeze. We look at snowfall accumulation. This map really has not changed a whole lot as we've been looking at it over the last couple of days, other than it's shifted farther north. And that's what we think the trend is. The trend for any substantial precipitation is farther north. Not that we won't have a little rain or snow mix as we head into early Sunday, but outside of it being just some wet roads, we're not anticipating it being a big problem, and that's why we don't have a weather impact alert for you. Obviously, if temperatures were a little bit cooler and the storm were to track, 100 miles farther to the south, that trend could change. But we don't see that happening, and the model trends have actually continued to press north with this storm with each successive run. Back into the 40s Tuesday and Wednesday, that's about average for this time of year. And then the end of next week and into next weekend, cold once again.
I'm pulling for us to hit 50 there.
Oh, yeah.
Looks good. We're getting close.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott. That's all of our time for 5 on your side at 10, but we're always streaming on the free 5+ app. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. But now, here's Corey Miller with 5 on your sideline.